we're going to cover these couple bullets today, and if we have extra time, we'll try to move on to React, which is this framework that we're using that loads a live website on your computer. So this localhost 3000 is a local port that's only visible to you. And then you would develop on this environment until you have an app that you feel like is ready to put onto the internet. And this, the tool that we're going to use is called React. It's made by Facebook, and it's one of the best, most popular tools. A lot of companies who are hiring for front-end developers would be using this tool. So I'm just going to cover a boolean first. So a boolean is just another way of saying true or false. That's what it is. It's a value that's going to either return true or false. So let's say, well, actually, better yet, I'm going to make a function for each of you, and then you're going to type stuff into it. Okay? So just give me a second. Okay, so here we're gonna say as coded before, right? So this is false and this is true. So this is a boolean. It's just either gonna return true or false, right? So do you see what I'm typing, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And this is useful because later on when we get into like conditions, like you want to go down different paths, you want your code to go down different paths, you want to know whether it's true or false, so then it knows what to do next. So that's kind of like the core of how computers understand what we're trying to teach it. Okay, and string is just a sentence. That is just a fancy word for sentence. So let's say const occupation, right? And then you have to put strings in a quote. That's how the code editor knows that it's a string. Okay, so I want you to fill that in yourselves on app.tsx.
Like currently?
Yeah.
Currently.
Okay. And then a number literally is a number. So these are types. What's over here? These are called types. So let's say, what do we want to say here? Months coded, something like that. Okay. So how many months have you coded before? And just fill that in.
Can't quite remember.
It's okay. It doesn't have to be accurate. I'm just showing you the different types.
Right. Oh, wait. So we're trying to do number, right? Is this? Mm-hmm. Is it a double or is just a regular number without decimals?
It's just an integer because
it's just int.
If there's a decimal, then it'll be. Actually, I think it's still type number in JavaScript. Nothing special about it.
Yeah. Just say 30.
Okay, sure. And an array is a collection of items. So let's say favorite movie or favorite characters. from any movie or whatever you want. So with arrays, you could mix different types. You could have strings, numbers, and booleans in it. But for now, I want you to just stick to one type, and we'll just put an array of strings. How that's going to look is like this. So 1, comma, space 2, right? And that I'll cover after we write it. So just put like 2 or 3 examples. So with the array, since we only want a collection of strings, you're gonna have to put whatever you type into a single quote. It could be single or double quote, but generally VS Code will reformat it to single quote anyway. Okay, let's put at least 2 so that we could do some stuff with the array, since it gives you special abilities. Okay, cool. So with an array, you could do stuff on it. Like I could say here, favorite characters dot includes, and I could pass in a string, say asterisk, and I could store this into a constant, say is includes asterisk, and this would return true or false. So that's one thing that you could do to an array. And I'll wait for Wesley to type 2.
Wait, this includes. Let's call.
Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna make my own section, so then both of you could follow along. So if we do this now, this thing called console log, console.log is includes w. This is a debugging technique, and what this is going to do is that it'll output the value of this to your browser. But in order to do that, I need to call our functions. I'll explain that later, don't worry about this part. In our app. So, let's include a marker. So I'm just going to add your name to it. Since we have 3 values, Wesley, and okay.
Is mine supposed to have a colon or no?
Oh, where's your colon?
It's right after my name.
Oh, that's fine. It's just going to be a text, so it'll just output exactly that. Oh, actually, you'll see it'll be a good example. So over here, we open up our console. It's a browser tool. You don't need to install it. So here we have this and oh wait, that's up. All right. Okay, here we go. So in our console, we see these values that are returned. So whatever you asked was included, Amy. Let's do split screen. we see that it's true, as in whatever you passed into the includes function was in your array. And then for, let's say you also put the same, I'm going to make mine false, so we have a different example. There we go. So you see here, mine returned false. So based off of like this value, you could start like doing different things and making your app more intricate. And does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then I'm going to show you another thing that you could do on arrays, which is you could go through them and you could evaluate each individual element. So I'm going to say actually, I'm not even going to bother. So favorite characters dot for each with a capital E. And then inside of it, I'm going to say character, which is like the singular element. So this is literally, so like JavaScript is, it's pretty nice to you, as in like, it's very readable. It's like not even, okay. So
it's like
I don't want
pseudocode.
What was that?
It's almost like pseudocode.
Yeah, right. So like there's other languages out there where it's very confusing to look at with no programming experience, but JavaScript is not that hard. Like it is hard, but it's like it's not hard to read. So like I don't want you to think about code as like this whole other language, it's computer language or whatnot. Just think of it as weird English, because that's what it really is. It's designed for humans to use. So what this is doing is it's literally going through all the characters, and for each single character, we're going to do some stuff. So like, for example, I could do console.log character, and that'll output whatever is in this array into my terminal. I mean, not terminal, my console. But before that, we have to resolve our bugs. So, Amy, just finish typing this part and then hit save. Oh, hit save is Command S. So we want to be able to see this output into our Chrome console. So we're going to have to use this console.log, and then you're going to pass in asterisk, or well, character, not asterisk. So in this case, character is going to represent each one of the items that you have in your array. Does that make sense?
Can you say that one more time?
So this character, that is a value holder that represents asterisk and Hannibal. So you don't actually need to type asterisk, and in fact, asterisk won't exist, but character would. And character, in the first iteration, like the first loop of going, well, I'm not even getting to that yet, but basically character is going to be asterisk, and then the second time character is going to be Hannibal Lecter. So the reason why this is underscored with red, or if you hover over it, it tells you, it cannot find asterisk. Because then asterisk is a string that's part of this array, but without the quotes, this asterisk is it's like a storage for a value. So yeah, but in this case, we don't want string asterisk. We want character, because character represents asterisk. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. So take out the...
Yep, and then we're going to replace asterisk with character. Okay, we have one extra bracket, so just remove the bracket. Yep. And we don't want to just have character as it is because we won't see it in our Chrome console. What we need to do is wrap it in a console.log. That way it comes out in our browser. Okay, and now we're gonna save it, and the moment I save it, we're gonna see, oh, it already happened from earlier, but so we're gonna save it, and we can see our characters are being displayed in Chrome now. So this console log is going to help you find bugs when it does happen, and there are always bugs when you're coding. So this is gonna be like your best friend. There's this, and there's also a more advanced debugging tool, but I'll show you that one later. For now, console log will get you a very long way. So like for example, if let's say I was expecting a character called Wonder Woman, and I look in this console log, and let's say it wasn't this simple. It was like thousands of lines of codes, and I don't know where to start. Then I would start console logging stuff, and I'll see like what's missing or what is there that shouldn't be there. So that's what this tool is for. Cool?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then there's another method that's very similar. It's called .map. Wait, oh yeah, this map. Okay. .map. And what .map does is that it changes your character. So like I could say return I don't know, give me a character. I'm not good at coming up with stuff on the spot.
Pikachu.
Alright, so we're all bad at it. Oh, let's say Pikachu. Alright. Pikachu, here we go. Oh, gotcha. New favorite. Charge. Okay, so you see here how it changed my two values from Spider-Man and W to both Pikachu. So this .map is, it literally, like, it's gonna replace, that's what it does. So .for each just goes through and it doesn't really mess with anything from the original array, but .map will. And that's useful for very different scenarios, but when they come up, you'll see like why. So I want you to now combine two things that we just covered, which is the boolean and this .map. And I want you to only replace one item from your array. So take a shot at it. It's okay if you don't get
one
it right.
item?
Yeah, only one item. And then the other one you want to keep it as it was. Oh, I didn't teach you this, actually. So there's a thing called if. Let me explain that first. So if true or false, do something. And you're gonna have a character, right? So you're gonna say if character triple equals, which means exact match.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so like, yeah, so that's the hint. But now give it a shot and try to change only one thing from your array. That's
lazy.
Fine. That's actually, I'm not against it. Some people are. Like, they say like,
I should know. I should.
No, actually, I disagree. Because then some people say you should always type it out when you're learning. But then it's like, if it's very simple, it's like, I know how to type. Why waste my time? Just copy it and paste it. If it's very complicated, then yeah, you want to take your time typing and understand every bit of it. So yeah, feel free, copy and paste. Even like after you start working, there's a lot of copy and paste involved because you don't want typos either. So if you copy the original, you're bound to not have a typo.
True.
Granted, the original doesn't have a typo. That's not always the case.
So what kind of loop is wait, is it dot map? No.
Yeah. Dot map?
No, wait, map isn't the loop. Map is just replaces, right? Wait, what's map again?
It is loop. They're both loops.
What kind of loop is it? Like it just goes through it?
Yeah. So I'm guessing when you say loop, you're thinking of like index
For
plus
loops.
plus. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's slightly different. So with the for loop, it has to go through each one, complete the thing, and then go to the next. And if at any point in time you return within the loop, it cancels the rest. But with the for each and the map, it'll go through all of it. Even if you return, it'll keep going. Does that make sense?
Wait, if it keeps going, how does it stop?
Until it reaches the end. So
the end. Okay.
Yeah, the end of the array.
I see.
I think I finished it, but I don't know if I did it right.
Let's see. You've got favorite characters dot map character if character equals Astrid, return character equals Rachel. Yeah, you both got it. So let's well, there's a lot of red. Okay, let's move on to well, are we comfortable with arrays so far?
Yeah. I just don't understand some keywords like just these things basically. Needs more time to get used to.
Okay, so this is entirely up to you. It's just a storage kind of like for the information for you to use. So you can call it whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like if you called it apples, you could later use it. Just remember it's apples. But for your convenience, you want to name it something that's relevant to the information that you're saving.
Oh, I see. Oh, so the main thing are dot include and dot map.
Yeah. Those are things that are you can't change. Dot includes is always dot includes. Dot map is always dot map.
Yeah.
So like even where I said character, that could be anything too. That could be bananas if you want.
Oh.
But it's just since we're like iterating through an array that is supposed to be characters, it'll be easier for you to understand that, oh, that's one of the characters.
I see.
Okay, so we're going to move on to object next. Object is one of the more common, but also, well, they're all common, but object is very useful, but at the same time for first time using is a bit confusing, so we're going to really take our time with this one.